Hey friend, Graham here from recordingrevolution.com. Let's talk about vocal ambience. Today we're talking about reverbs, delays, something that I call the vocal ambience arc. And this is something that I've gotten better at over time. I am such a black or white thinker, all or nothing, this or that. And so for years mixing, I've flip-flopped between super dry vocals and I hate reverb to lots of reverb, and let's just go all in on the slap reverb. I think there's like a 2-year stretch where everything is slap reverb, slap, 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 and it has that sound. And there's nothing wrong with making different artistic choices because of what you're into, because of what is trending and relevant in modern music, and because of what the artist and the song itself requires. And one thing I've been slow to learn is that you can have a vocal ambience arc over the course of a song and actually use vocal ambience to tell a story that changes throughout the song. Now, this fits certain songs better than others, but a lot of songs follow this pattern arrangement-wise, where you have small at the beginning, bigger in the middle, huge at the end. And that could be more instruments being brought in. That could be just opening up of excitement and energy. And with that, you can tell a very cool story sonically if you play with the vocal ambience and it changes. It has this arc over time. Just like a story arc, it has a beginning, middle, and end. Your ambience on your vocals can have a beginning, middle, and end. And there's a song I was mixing recently for our mixing community, and this is one of the ones that just is a classic example of the vocal ambience arc. So you're going to notice, I'm going to focus in on the vocals, but you're going to notice her vocal is completely dry, no ambience at the beginning of the song. I'll play you a little bit of the verse going into the hook, and then what I want to zero in on is the hook 3 different times. The hook at the beginning with no ambience, and then how the ambience changes, and then changes again at the end, and how it tells a different story.
For just beyond the foam, there is a light upon the shore, and it flashes from the stand, and the night is almost over, and the haven is at hand.
Right? So the vocal itself is super dry. If you just listen to them by themselves, there's nothing on them.
There is a light upon the shore.
Right? It's just her in the vocal booth. But when we get to the hook the second time, it has a totally different vibe.
More. There is a light upon the shore, and it flashes from the stand, and the night is almost over, and the haven is at hand. There is a light upon the shore, and it flashes from the stand.
Right? We're using sends to send those vocals to a slap delay, which all a slap delay is a short delay. So I've got a track that I've called slap here, and I'm using the stock Pro Tools delay. I tweaked an old delay setting that was from the Mod Delay 2 version. When on an old version of Pro Tools, they still have that setting, which I love, and I tweak from there. It looks like it's 70 milliseconds on the left, 75 on the right, 13 to 19% feedback. And then I roll off the top end. I do this on all my delays anyway. I have a low pass filter on my delays so that they're not as bright and crispy. So I'm rolling off everything above 4K. And this just gives you that sense of space.
More. There is a light upon the shore, and it flashes from the stand.
So now we have the vocal telling a different story in this hook. It's just got a different vibe to it.
There is a light upon the shore.
Versus this.
There is a light upon the shore.
That's when it's dry, it's just in one place, right up the middle, but with a little bit of slap, it's a little wider.
There is a light upon the shore, and it flashes from the stand.
And then what I did, you might have heard these little background ahs coming in here. This is a hint of what's to come in the third and final part of the arc. which is heavily delayed. So I'm sending those vocals to a track called Delay here, and I've got the stock multi-delay plugin, and I just started tweaking the settings from the default settings, and those repeat on and on and on. Again, another high cut here to roll off top end above 4K, but I wanted to tease out that the ambience is going to change yet again, that there's something else beyond just that slap delay where it sounds like in a small room. So now there is a key change later on, but now let's get to the hook the third time. And I know there's more tracks going on, but if you can listen to the vocals, they have a different ambience now.
There is a light upon the shore, and it flashes from the stands, and the night is almost over, and the haven is at hand. There is a light upon the shore, and it flashes from the stands, and the night is almost over.
Right? The slap is still there, but you don't notice it because what you notice is the lead vocal heavily going through that delay that was hinted at, and then these background sort of call and response vocals going through that same multi-delay. And so what you have is a vocal ambience story arc where the song is already arranged in such a good way that it builds. And so many songs, if well arranged, already have that. All we want to do is piggyback off of hopefully a good arrangement you have by letting the vocal, which is the most prominent track in all of music, unless it's an instrumental, of course, letting that vocal emphasize that story arc by using ambience. We're just changing the reverbs, changing the delays, or adding a reverb or adding a delay, or letting the delay go from short to long over time. And then it doesn't have to always go in this linear fashion. It could start very delayed, and then it could come down to a bridge where it's super dry. And that's the arc that the ambience is telling. And all of a sudden, there's this moment we all pay attention to the vocal in the bridge because it's so dry. And when it's dry, it seems close and upfront and intimate. And then it could explode back with more ambience. The point is, don't just think of ambience as, is this going to have reverb or not? Is it going to have delay or not? And what is that delay going to be? It can and should, if needed, change throughout the course of the song to give you a beautiful story arc that captivates the listener and draws them into the better parts of the arrangement. There you go, the vocal ambience arc. And speaking of arrangement, if you don't have a good arrangement, you don't have a good shot at having a radio-ready song. I have a 6-step process that I teach for creating what I call radio-ready songs. And one of those steps has nothing to do with, two of those steps have nothing to do with actual production, okay? One of them is writing a good song. Step one is writing a good song. Everyone wants mixing tricks. Graham, give me a mixing trick. Give me a mixing trick. Well, are you writing good songs? Probably not if your songs sound like poo. So go back to the songwriting phase. So step one is songwriting, but you know what step two is? It's not recording, it's arranging. There's an entire step. There's an entire process in any major song that's produced out there. It's all about just cutting up the arrangement, making sure this song is a great song, it's got potential, but what's the best way to present this in terms of flow? Should we have a bridge or not have a bridge? Should we extend the chorus or not extend the chorus? What instrumentation should come in verse 2 versus verse 1? This is all thought out long before you hit the record button, and so important. And that is most evident in today's video as we're talking about mixing vocals, yes, but it's all built off of a good arrangement. So you need to arrange your songs with intentionality and creativity long before you hit the record button or look for mixing tricks on YouTube. So if you don't know about the 6-step process, you need to know about it if you want to have a shot at your song sounding as good as it possibly can. So songwriting and arranging are two that I'm talking about. Mixing, one we're talking about right now. Those are only 3 of the 6 steps. And so there's 3 more. And I want you to download a guide. I basically took this concept and just wrote it out into a easy to read guide that's like, first do this, then do this, then do this, and some tips and tricks along the way. So you have a helpful resource. I look at it as a map, like a step-by-step map to follow every time you have a song idea. I want you to download it and use it in your productions. It's called my 6 Steps to a Radio Ready Song Guide. It's free. just click the link here in the description below this video, links here on the screen as well, and download it and then read it. And then guess what? Apply it to your next song. If you just take your next song, it could be your next single, it could be a song you're working on for a buddy of yours, just take the next song that's on your list to create, that you're writing or co-writing, that you have complete top to bottom control over. And would you just make that song while going through this guide? And just report back to me if you don't get a better result. I guarantee you it's going to sound better and perform better and be more palatable to the audience and more enjoyed by your fans if you put it through these 6 steps. It's absolutely free. Just go to radioreadyguide.com, grab your download, and then, hey, do what most people don't do. Actually read it and apply it. You'll get the results. RadioReadyGuide.com. It's my 6 steps to a Radio Ready song. It's super helpful, and I want to give it to you as a gift for watching this video today. Thanks for being a part of the recording revolution. Thanks for liking and subscribing to the videos, and I'll see you on another video real soon.